Galactic Empire in New World. What will happen if the Galactic Empire suddenly appears in the New World?
There is a technological gap that no one in the New World can bridge. Magic versus the Force. Arrow and spear versus turbolaser.
Star Wars versus Japan Summon or Nihonkoku Shukon. Part 1, Chapter 1, The Engineer.
Iskandar Zulkarnain is an unmarried 35-year-old engineer. He works for a national heavy equipment company owned by the brother of the former vice president of Indonesia. The company is known for its innovation and heavy equipment products, although they do not have an official R&D unit. Iskandar is one of the experts working to develop various heavy equipment marketed by the company.
Every day, he struggles with designs purchased or obtained from various countries, particularly China,
and develops them so that they do not closely resemble his original designs and do not violate their patents.
This is often referred to as reverse engineering.
Because there are not many engineers, Iskandar is involved in various projects at once, many of which are unrelated.
Even though he is very busy with his work as a single person,
he still pursues his hobby of reading various novels and comics made in Japan, Korea, and China. His hobby is reading the isekai genre.
In addition, since childhood, Iskandar has also been very fond of science fiction stories. This is why he was educated as an engineer. He also joined various science fiction communities in Indonesia, including the Star Trek community and Star Wars.
Often, in his spare time, he holds debates or some kind of lecture that is more scientific in relation to the world of science fiction.
One of the world figures whom he admires and adheres to is Mikio Kaku,
a theoretical physicist who tries to bridge the theoretical gap between science fiction and the world of theoretical physics. Many of his writing scribbles or calculations try to see the world of science fiction when viewed from the real world.
But because his knowledge is not as strong as Mikio Kaku's, the calculations are only elementary. One time, Iskandar was given the task of participating in a short 2-week training on foresight conducted in Tokyo, Japan at NISTEP. Of course, Iskandar was very happy to get the opportunity because he had never been to Japan.
Iskandar also proposed an additional day to travel in Japan.
His boss gave him an additional 3 days, and Iskandar asked for leave to extend it up to 1 week. In total, he will be in Japan for 28 calendar days.
Iskandar has 15 days to explore Japan. Iskandar departed from Jakarta on Saturday evening and arrived in Tokyo on Sunday morning. Iskandar stayed at a hotel provided by the committee in the Roppongi area, near Roppongi Ichim Station, from where it was possible to take the Metro Namboku line and stop at Roppongi Station or walk to Grips, where most of the training will be held.
The rest of the training is done at NISTEP itself in Kyoto-ku.
Since his arrival, Iskandar has traveled to many places in Tokyo, such as the Emperor's Palace and various parks.
Even during training, Iskandar still often walks in the morning after dawn or after returning from training.
Of course, he visited Akihabara many times.
After completing his training period, Iskandar immediately headed to Osaka for a 7-day stay, using an Airbnb near Osaka Station for easy transportation to Nara and Kyoto,
2 places that Iskandar planned to explore during his 7 days in Osaka.
After that, he plans to go to Hiroshima and return to Tokyo by stopping at places such as Heishu, Enmai, and Konozawa in Ishikawa Prefecture.
Before going home, he plans to see the Ghibli Museum outside Tokyo and go to Mount Fuji.
On his return to Tokyo after traveling to various cities, Iskandar headed to the Tokyo Skytree Station in Sumida to head to his Airbnb inn, which was close to the station. When Iskandar arrived at Skytree Station, it was getting dark and, because he was tired, Iskandar got lost at the station, confused about where to get out and go to his inn. This is exacerbated by the innkeeper also not answering when contacted.
Finally, while waiting, Iskandar goes to the toilet.
At that time, near Tokyo Bay, the Sagami Fault was showing its activity.
The Philippine Sea Plate began to move suddenly under the Okhotsk Plate.
On the Philippine Sea Plate, there are mines of quartz crystals that have high purity,
surrounded by iron mines that also have high purity in some places.
The strangest thing is that there are alien quartz crystals from outer space that have interdimensional abilities. The sudden movement of the plates compresses the quartz deposits and creates a large-scale piezo effect.
Unfortunately, the surrounding iron deposits act like transformer windings, increasing the electric potential generated by the piezo effect and focusing it towards Tokyo.
Under normal conditions, the electricity is immediately dissipated due to the conductivity of the soil to its surroundings. But when the electric potential is at its maximum, in a strange cosmic fortune,
the alien interdimensional crystal is located in the path of the electric potential and activates it. Dimensional waves that alternated randomly into various dimensions were focused by the transformer effect,
caused by the iron deposits as they shot towards Tokyo at speeds exceeding the speed of light. The main focus is passing the Skytree station in Tokyo, precisely at the toilet where Iskandar is located.
Unfortunately, next to the toilet was a high-voltage power transformer,
which again changed the effect of the dimensional waves in the toilet, where Iskandar was bathed in a dazzling, colorful corona light. While electrical energy at the power transformer was also converted to dimensional energy, the entire contents of the toilet move randomly to various dimensions and back again. And as the only biological being that has information in its brain, Iskandar also moves randomly to various dimensions. In a very short period of time, Iskandar seems to have moved to various dimensional realities. For most of the time, Iskandar appears in outer space. There is only a two-dimensional reality where, by chance, Iskandar occupies the same place as someone else.
That's when all the information in Iskandar's head was copied to the person, as if his soul was moved.
And the person who became one with Iskandar had the misfortune of not having the power given by that dimensional wave.
At that time, his entire personality was destroyed and replaced by Iskandar's. Only his memories were fused with Iskandar's.
After the dimensional wave effect passed, the entire contents of the toilet returned to their original reality, including Iskandar.
Because the incident lasted so short, Iskandar barely had time to realize it.
It's just that the lights in the toilet and many electronic devices in the toilet are short-circuited.
Iskandar also felt dizzy suddenly and almost fell in front of the toilet. His eyes were full of light with the color of the corona that had happened earlier. But not long after that, Iskandar felt better and left the toilet to go back to looking for the exit to the intended Airbnb. Iskandar felt a small earthquake as he was leaving.
This was caused by the Sagami fault activity earlier. End of Part 1, Chapter 1.